For a little Big Ten basketball. It's powered by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram, and tonight Maryland will try to stop the 23-4. See the starting lineups. They're powered by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram. Nothing has stopped Bryce Sanford of late, coming off a huge performance with 33 against who have been under the weather. Berke did not play against Penn State with the illness. They're both ready. They're both starting. They're both good to go tonight.
So they'll have them off the bench in that depth we talked about.
Adams with 14 to shoot will kick it out to Elijah Saunders, and his three will rattle home.
Right under the rim. They got a mismatch right here.
Mills against Mast. Mills steps back for the three.
You saw turnover happy a couple of these last games, particularly against Northwestern at home.
Mills on the drive to the rim. That ball batted around and out of bounds to 5 on the shot clock now for Sanford. Here's Mast posting against Metcalf. 1 to shoot. And again, good defense by Maryland. 10 to shoot for Adams. Here's Washington on the drive to the rim, and he hammers it home. Here's Sanford all over him on the perimeter. Jamarcus Lawrence into the paint. Huskers still unable to crack the seal.
With the switch, you called it earlier. That time they brought Sam Hoiberg to the screen.
And a foul called. Sanford trying to break it to the rim. No shot. It's a foul. It's Frager in the corner. Braden Frager off. And Nebraska 0 for 6 from the floor. Quickly up the floor. Adams to the rim. And a foul called. And Darius Adams. Score. Also on the floor tonight, Braden Frager.
Freshman play at Maryland kind of been overshadowed.
Gibson, that three rattles off into the arms of Hoiberg. Here's Frager, a path to the rim. Frager fouled by Del Pino, and Nebraska will look for its first points at the chair. And the first point has been scored at the 4th.
If it's a free throw, I don't think you should be able to sit. I think you got to keep standing.
It's a lot of rules at Nebraska about when you do things. Do you release the balloon?
What? No free throws.
Frager got a hand on that, took it away from Del Pino. Now Frager chugging right at Del Pino, high off the window.
At the arc like that, great job by Bryce Sanford to run him off the line, but Biggie Coit been streaky all year.
Oh, Sanford doesn't take him long. Our job is to lob easy questions all night long.
Dunker.
Here's Washington. Dunk earlier, looking for another here, and he's collapsed upon and a foul call. Mass just sort of came out of his hip.
Lining up and so imagine him with Pharrell Payton in this front court, what they can do on the glass. And they say he plays with a lot of emotion.
It's a turnover.
Mills has to get off that when he makes the defense collapse.
Frager, the trail three. Last 27 from 3. That's his game.
It's not great.
Washington, deep 2. Not necessarily his. 9 to shoot. Here's Hoiberg, slither through the defense to Frager. The open man, the 3 is short, and stumbling around through Buchtengel. Tough catch for Metcalf. Not much happening here. Washington trying to make him right from 3. All the way around the cylinder for Maryland. Nebraska 3 of 14, Maryland 2 for 12. Here's Adams, good pass from Coit to find the open. Darius.
Wear Nebraska out, don't settle, don't turn it over.
Garcia will try and hit the 3 in the corner. How about Jared Garcia? Just 10-0 off the bench for the Huskers, and Buchtengel almost a steal from Metcalf. Run it to Washington, and he fights through Buchtengel to push it down.
Putting it on the deck, finding him on the baseline. Great job by the big fella.
Tied at 13. Buchtengel, traffic there and a foul.
A little late.
Buchtengel good on the free throw. In comes Isaiah Watt.
Obviously with buzz from Texas A&M, but maybe go back to that.
Metcalf on the baseline, and then the extra pass is turned over. Isaiah Watts on the push against Jamarcus Lawrence. That shot won't go, and Hoiberg the rebound. Uneven, to say the least, on the offensive end for both teams. Frager launching from deep. Hits the 3. His second tonight. And here's Coit. He'll launch the deep 3. That Shot's just not been where it was earlier.
They're going to the rim a couple times. Got to be patient and allow the play to develop.
There's a patient play right to Hoiberg. Beautiful pass from Buchtengel, and Nebraska with its.
Buchtengel just got away with a crazy travel.
Lawrence turns the corner, bumped by Watts, and Jamarcus Lawrence at the line looking for his first points of the night. 0 for 3 from the floor, and now 0 for 1 at the under the weather, and everybody was quite concerned he wouldn't be out there tonight. It's just going to be talking with Fred Hoiberg at the shooter switch by Saunders. Hoiberg, physical play inside. In the corner, contested 3 from Lawrence. It won't go. He's 0 for 4 from the floor. The skip to the open man. That's Washington in the corner. 4-3. You said it earlier. Not a great percentage, but a wide open look. And the lob underneath. Mass beat everybody back. And that's 2 for Rink Mass. First half. Saunders contested by Garcia, but he rolls it home anyway. Maryland with their 4th from deep. Rebound, Delpino.
Delpino, one of those guys who's just everywhere on the floor.
Here's Washington inside, and this game's tied at 21. 11 now for Washington in this first half. Inside, Buchtengel with the 2 and a chance for one more. And he's short again. He was short on the one he missed earlier. Here's Delpino still out there with those 2 fouls. Launching deep, Andre Mills, no, and a foul underneath on Saunders.
Makes timely shots. Defensively is always engaged.
And Sanford going to the rim, and he is fouled by the aforementioned Washington. And fouls for Washington, and Sanford at the line for 2. Huskers 4 of 8.
But he can always get a bucket. He's always liable, but I think it really has to be in Mills' hands right.
The guy who came in with a 30-point-per-game average last week, the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Sanford all the way to the rim. They didn't stop him, and he took it. Nebraska fans enjoying quite a ride this season.
They are not done yet.
Well, they hope not done for a long time. Saunders with the 3 and off the time. Here's Sanford matched up against Adams. He'll drive and dish. Hoiberg in the corner for 3. And that'll splash down.
And good extra from Coit. Maryland will make those shots. Defense will soften up.
Here's Hoiberg trying to get free of Mills, and Andre Mills picks up his first personal.
Steals under the rim, taking out the big, opening up the lane for the guard to finish.
We talk about all the things Sam Hoiberg has done. 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Pushing the all-time record.
Leads the nation. 3 to shoot. Mills is going to have to launch one from way back. Contested by Lawrence, and he hits. How about that?
See if that gets him going.
Buchtengel with 2 free throws. He's got 4 points. Corner, it's Mast. Mast spinning inside. 1 to shoot. Frager going to have to launch. Short. Hoiberg's tip will not go, and Nebraska will have to start the game. The longest scoreless drought of the year for Nebraska. Nice little flip to Mast. Saunders was there, though. Mast will launch the hook anyway, and it won't go. It's been such a big part of his game, be able to pull that post out on the perimeter. Saunders will pull one from the corner, and Saunders with his full game.
Maryland starts the second half just like they started the first. Ball screen side to side. Saunders.
Oh, Lawrence steps into that for his first points tonight. It'd be a big lift for Nebraska if Lawrence could get on a heater here in the second half. Nice passing to Washington on the baseline. Sensing a theme there with Solomon Washington, but he breaks that pattern now with 12 points.
And deflecting those passes, because he's been open against a lot of teams, and they're just not getting that against Maryland right now. So
10 to shoot. Not much going right now. Mast will try. The triple drops. That's got a field court on the perimeter. Spins on Hoiberg and the dump down to a cutting Turk. Hoiberg, nowhere to go. 5 to shoot. Mast trying to get to work on the baseline, and a charging foul is called. Mast wanted a Washington fading away. That won't go. Loose ball. Diving for it, Nebraska, and it's out of bounds to Maryland. Then it's Maryland trying to keep the pressure on here. 10 to shoot. Andre Mills, contested three, it'll drop. His second of the night. Tense in Lincoln in a 2-point game. Lawrence had a hand check called on George Turkson Jr. Lawrence, everything but the bucket. Got a great look.
Big time by Hoiberg. Couldn't knock it down.
Stepping into a three is Mills, and he splashes.
You can only think about going back to that late shot clock heave from Mills earlier in the first half that got him going.
Sanford on the drive. Count that bucket.
Awfully close. I trust your judgment.
Do you? Because that's not what I've heard over the course of this year.
Wednesdays aren't always.
Wednesday night hoops, not good judgment. Mills inside, good judgment there. And all of a sudden, the freshman who started very slowly is waking up. Hoiberg on the drive inside. Sanford shrugging off Adams. That'll be a foul on Adams. His first, team's third. And Buchtenjel gets one more here in a tie game at 3 on the court. 1-point lead for Nebraska, but it maybe is a 2-point lead.
Maybe less than 40 possessions of zone all year.
Adams attacks that zone and gets the window to open up and by 1. Mills drop off inside. Metcalf rejected by Sanford. Able to stay with it. Gets it back. Too strong. Mills to follow. That won't go. 3. Short on that one, and the rebound ends up with Washington. Hoiberg trying to take it away, and he does. Bats it to Frager. To the rim, to the hammer.
Action. Here comes the crowd.
Saunders trying to quiet. He will. So a 1-point Maryland lead with the basketball. Adams will turn the corner. The lob off target to Turkson, and it's tipped out by Nebraska. 9 to
not getting deflections. They're doing a fantastic job against this defense.
On the baseline, the jumper rattles home for Mills, who has Mast. Out it goes to Frager for 3. Won't go. Mast battling for that rebound, and it's out of bounds to Maryland.
Not the guy you want to have it late in the shot clock. Mills buried in the corner right there.
Oh, good find. Mast took his time inside. Fortunate to get 2 out of that. Lost a handle on it. Hoiberg diving on the floor, and it's Nebraska who gets the turnover. Looking for the lead again. It's Frager, bumped by Metcalf, and a foul.
Mills tried to force a split.
Front end good for Frager to break a 2-minute 16.
Sanford shoots the ball, and what Maryland's willing to do to take him out of the game.
Huskers back on top.
An aggressive play at the ball screen.
Frager in the corner, got an open 3, and he rattles it home. What a find, and Frager carries. Lawrence nearly the steal. Saunders on the bounce. Back out to Coit, wide open triple, and another crowd quieter from Maryland.
And this is a close game. Diggy Coit can microwave really quick.
Double comes, they find Mast to Sanford, and he gets the roll. Sanford. He'll push. End to end. Sanford. Mast plucks it and finishes. Good hand. Wow.
I can't either.
And a foul on Frager. Fred Hoiberg blocked off. Washington has to get rid of it. 5 to shoot. Adams penetrates from the logo, and the rebound batted to the corner by Washington. Saunders. I'm not so sure. Frager. Inside. Good mass, and what a challenge by Metcalf, and then Hoiberg with a... And it comes into Frager, and Frager, no. Mast's follow won't go. Still loose, and it comes up in the hands of Frager. Somehow into the Huskers' end of the floor, able to save it. Finds Hoiberg. Back out Lawrence. Extra pass. Sanford with the triple. 7 to shoot. Hoiberg matching up against Metcalf, trying to get past the big man, and a foul called on Metcalf, and that's his 5th. Metcalf trying to time his to have something I could draw on this board for you.
Boy, just comfortably sitting on that scores table.
Washington trying to break an over 4-minute Maryland scoring drought. Coit had to go down to get that one, and he brought it up for 3. Mills quickly up the floor. And Hoiberg with the steal. Hoiberg to the other end for two. Nebraska back even on the glass now in this game. Hoiberg baseline drive for two more. Has been playing as well or better than Nebraska's offense. He said that's been the biggest difference with the Huskers.
Well, in the first half, they weren't getting those deflections.
But another great. It rolls off. Huskers not able to get that three down. Mills on the drive inside. Everything but the bucket there is it. Sanford has to launch. Shot clock winding. Barely grazes the rim. We've got a foul underneath. Frager.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I think winning out is obviously going to be tough. You got to think if you win out, but you never know.
Again, a tall task. There's only been two teams since UCLA. Here's Coit. Whips that pass back over to Mills for three. Rebound batted out. Mills ends up with it. Jump stop and two off the window for Hoiberg inside. Sanford in the corner. That three drops and the cherry on top for Nebraska. Many opportunities to get past the 26-win mark and become the winningest team in the
basketball games have you watched in your day?
There've been a few. A lot of them in this chair. Nebraska will just leave that ball at half court and walk off with their 24th win of the season. And a 13 errors were tested tonight, but 13 conference wins tying the program record. And Fred Hoiberg's team is now 24-4, headed out to Los Angeles.